It is not permissible to attach an extension box directly to the floor, covering protruding polyvinyl chloride conduits without employing connectors. Such a practice introduces potential hazards and contravenes established electrical code mandates. Firstly, concerning safety hazards, failure to appropriately connect polyvinyl chloride conduits elevates the susceptibility to electric shock and the potential for fire initiation. Absent proper connectors, internal wiring may establish contact with exposed metal components of the extension box or the floor, thereby constituting a potential ignition source. Secondly, relating to code violations, electrical regulations, including the National Electrical Code, necessitate the utilization of sanctioned connectors to firmly secure and safeguard electrical wiring and conduits. The direct installation of an extension box atop the conduits, devoid of connectors, represents a breach of these stipulations, thereby jeopardizing the overall integrity of the electrical system. Thirdly, discussing moisture and pest ingress. Open conduits afford avenues for the ingress of moisture, particulate matter, and pests into the electrical framework. Accumulated moisture precipitates corrosion and subsequent damage to wiring, while pests may inflict harm upon the insulation through gnawing or nesting activities, potentially culminating in electrical malfunctions. Fourthly, as far as grounding is concerned, the absence of proper connectors may compromise the effective grounding of the electrical grid. Grounding remains paramount in averting electric shock and guaranteeing the secure operational parameters of electrical apparatus. Fifthly, in terms of accessibility, in instances of electrical crises or maintenance protocols, unimpeded access to conduits and wiring constitutes a critical requirement. Affixing an extension box directly onto the conduits engenders formidable obstacles to their safe and efficient accessibility. The correct procedure for affixing an extension box to protruding polyvinyl chloride conduits entails the application of sanctioned connectors, encompassing electrical conduit bodies or junction boxes. These connectors mandate secure attachment to both conduits and the extension box, facilitated through the utilization of suitable fasteners. Internal wiring within the junction box necessitates meticulous connection protocols, succeeded by enclosure with a lid or faceplate, ensuring shielding from environmental factors and the provision of a secure, readily accessible connection juncture. For instance, the National Electrical Code, or NEC, Section 314.16, addresses box fill calculations. This section dictates the maximum number of conductors, devices, and fittings permitted within an enclosure. Ignoring these guidelines can lead to overheating and potential fire hazards. When installing conductors, the NEC mandates adherence to ampacity tables such as those found in NEC Table 310.15b16. These tables specify the maximum current carrying capacity of conductors based on their size, insulation type, and ambient temperature. The overloading conductors beyond their rated ampacity can cause insulation breakdown and increase the risk of electrical fires. Grounding and bonding are critical for electrical safety. NEC Section 250.4 outlines the requirements for grounding electrical systems to protect against electrical shock hazards. Proper grounding provides a low impedance path for fault currents to flow back to the source, tripping circuit breakers or fuses and energizing the circuit. NEC requires the use of approved wiring methods for different applications. For example, NEC Article 334 covers non-metallic sheath cable, commonly known as Romex, which is suitable for dry locations. For wet locations, such as underground installations, the NEC requires the use of rigid metal conduit or liquid-type flexible metal conduit, as specified in Articles 344 and 350 respectively. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are essential for protecting electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. NEC Article 240 provides requirements for overcurrent protection, including the selection and installation of circuit breakers and fuses based on the ampacity of the conductors they protect. In residential wiring, arc fault circuit interrupters, or size, are required in certain circuits to protect against arc faults, which can cause fires. NEC Section 210.12 specifies the locations where size are required, such as bedrooms, living rooms, and dining rooms. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, are required in areas where electrical outlets are likely to come into contact with water, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor locations. NEC Section 210.8 specifies the locations where GFCIs are required to protect against electrical shock hazards. Electrical boxes must be properly sized and installed to provide adequate space for conductors and devices. NEC Article 314 provides requirements for the installation of electrical boxes, including box fill calculations and support requirements. Conductors must be properly spliced and terminated to ensure reliable electrical connections. NEC Section 110.13 provides requirements for making electrical connections, including the use of approved connectors and termination methods. Wiring devices, such as switches and receptacles, must be properly installed and grounded to ensure safe operation. NEC Article 404 provides requirements for the installation of switches, while NEC Article 406 provides requirements for the installation of receptacles. Electrical panels must be properly labeled to identify the circuits they control. NEC Section 408.4 requires that each circuit breaker or fuse in an electrical panel be clearly labeled to indicate its purpose. When working on electrical systems, it is essential to follow lockout/tagout procedures to prevent accidental energization. OSHA Standard 1910.147 provides requirements for lockout/tagout procedures to ensure worker safety. The NEC requires that electrical work be performed by qualified persons who are familiar with the code and have the necessary skills and knowledge to perform the work safely. NEC Section 110.3 provides requirements for electrical safety and qualifications. In commercial and industrial settings, the NEC requires the use of specific wiring methods and equipment to meet the demands of higher voltage and current levels. For example, NEC Article 392 covers cable trays, which are used to support and route cables in industrial applications. Hazardous locations, such as those where flammable gases or dusts are present, require the use of explosion-proof equipment and wiring methods. NEC Articles 500 through 516 provide requirements for electrical installations in hazardous locations. Healthcare facilities have unique electrical requirements to ensure patient safety and the reliable operation of medical equipment. NEC Article 517 provides requirements for electrical installations in healthcare facilities, including essential electrical systems and grounding requirements. The NEC requires that electrical systems be inspected and tested regularly to ensure they are in compliance with the code and are operating safely. NEC Section 90.7 provides information on electrical inspections and testing. When working with electrical equipment, it is important to use personal protective equipment such as safety glasses, rubber gloves, and insulated tools. OSHA Standard 1910.132 provides requirements for personal protective equipment. The NEC requires that electrical systems be designed and installed in a manner that minimizes the risk of fire and electrical shock. NEC Section 110.9 provides requirements for electrical safety and protection. When working with electrical systems, it is important to be aware of the potential hazards and to take steps to protect yourself and others from harm. OSHA provides resources and training materials on electrical safety to help workers understand the risks and how to prevent accidents. The NEC requires that electrical equipment be listed and labeled by a recognized testing laboratory to ensure it meets safety standards. NEC Section 110.3 provides requirements for electrical equipment listing and labeling. When installing electrical equipment, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions to ensure it is installed correctly and operates safely. The NEC requires that electrical systems be installed in accordance with the code and the manufacturer's instructions. When working with electrical systems, it is important to have a basic understanding of electrical theory and principles. This includes understanding voltage, current, resistance, and power, as well as how these concepts relate to electrical safety. The NEC requires that electrical workers be trained and qualified to perform the work they are assigned. This includes completing an apprenticeship program or other formal training program and passing a certification exam. When working with electrical systems, it is important to follow all applicable safety regulations and procedures. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, using insulated tools, and following lockout/tagout procedures. The NEC requires that electrical systems be maintained in good working order to ensure they continue to operate safely. This includes regularly inspecting and testing electrical equipment and making repairs as needed. When working with electrical systems, it is important to be aware of the potential for electrical shock and arc flash. These hazards can cause serious injury or death. The NEC requires that electrical workers be trained to recognize and avoid these hazards. When working with electrical systems, it is important to have a plan in place in case of an emergency. This includes knowing how to shut off the power, how to call for help, and how to provide first aid to someone who has been injured. The NEC requires that electrical systems be designed and installed in a manner that is accessible for maintenance and repair. This includes providing adequate working space around electrical equipment and ensuring that all components are readily accessible. When working with electrical systems, it is important to be aware of the potential for electrical noise and interference. This can affect the performance of electronic equipment and can even cause damage. The NEC requires that electrical systems be designed and installed in a manner that minimizes electrical noise and interference. When working with electrical systems, it is important to be aware of the potential for electromagnetic fields or imps. Some people believe that EMF can pose a health risk. The NEC does not currently have any specific requirements for EMF, but it is important to be aware of the potential risks. When working with electrical systems, it is important to be aware of the potential for static electricity. Static electricity can damage electronic equipment and can even cause a fire. The NEC requires that electrical systems be designed and installed in a manner that minimizes the risk of static electricity. When working with electrical systems, it is important to be aware of the potential for surge voltages. Surge voltages can damage electronic equipment and can even cause a fire. The NEC requires that electrical systems be protected from surge voltages by using surge protective devices. When working with electrical systems, it is important to be aware of the potential for harmonics. Harmonics can cause problems with electrical equipment and can even damage the power grid. The NEC requires that electrical systems be designed and installed in a manner that minimizes harmonics. When working with electrical systems, it is important to be aware of the potential for power quality problems. Power quality problems can affect the performance of electrical equipment and can even cause damage. The NEC requires that electrical systems be designed and installed in a manner that minimizes power quality problems. When working with electrical systems, it is important to be aware of the potential for energy waste. Energy waste can increase operating costs and can even contribute to environmental problems. The NEC requires that electrical systems be designed and installed in a manner that minimizes energy waste. When working with electrical systems, it is important to be aware of the potential for safety hazards. By following all applicable safety regulations and procedures, you can help to protect yourself and others from harm. Electrical work should be performed by qualified and licensed electricians.